Yo, what's good, family? What's good, gang? Welcome back to the channel if you're not a subscriber, and welcome to the channel if you is a new subscriber, bro. Listen, usually y'all see me like I'm usually hyped up, all that kind of stuff. I'm be in a good mood, but today's video kind of made me sad and angry like at the same time. So it's like it's important that I made this video, bro. Here's the thing. I know the last video I made was on like had something to do with police, but with that one, we was just poking fun, you feel me, having a good time, laughing. Even though it was like a serious matter, we still got to poke some holes into that shit and like have fun with it. But this one is a more serious case, and it's just like one thing about me is, bro, I really do not like injustice, bro. I hate injustice for the life of me, and anytime I see shit like that, it makes my blood boil, you feel me? So, and another thing about me, especially on this channel, what I love to do is bring awareness. So whether like in any way, shape, or form, I just love to bring awareness. Basically, today's video, we're gonna be talking about and discussing a situation that happened. I just want to let y'all know there's going to be justice. I promise, there's going to be justice when we were breaking this shit down. But like you're gonna see why this video is was really important for me to be for me to make it. Also, I feel like, and the thing is, I had no plans on making this video. I truly didn't. Like, I had other videos lined up for y'all I was gonna make in order, but this shit I just bumped to the top because I just felt it was that important to make, and you're gonna see why again. But I was scrolling through Twitter and all that kind of stuff, and literally I feel like God put this video in front of me, or this video idea for me to make in front of me, because we knew yeah, bro, this shit has to be talked about. But okay, so basically the situation at hand is we already, if you have never been through this before, it's real out there, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. It's real out there. And this female police officer, I think in Palm Beach Greens, whatever, I don't know, you'll see in the video, but it was basically a female police officer was flexing her authority against a victim. Again, I'm saying this victim, bro, not suspect, a victim. So she was already in the wrong because she was going after the wrong person, and instead of owning up to her mistakes, she decided to double down and just keep going on and making the situation worse and worse and worse. But not only that, bro, you're gonna see how her surrounding officers, they didn't make the situation better either, bro. When I seen you feel me, people out there talking about we need to defund the police and we need to cops are bad and all that kind of stuff, I was always asking myself damn, why do people say that shit? I thought cops, in my head I'm thinking cops are here to protect us, they're not the bad guys, you feel me? But then when I see situations like this, then now I get a better understanding of why people are saying that and why people are treating police the way they are, based on, it seems like, either the experiences or what they're seeing, just like me or just like you, it don't matter. And yeah, it's really wrong at the end of the day, bro. And something just needs to be done about it. And you see why the police have to wear body cams. It's crazy that you can't even trust these motherfuckers, and they have to have body cams to record everything they say and everything they do.
An argument with another swimmer. Gould is suing because he says his civil rights were violated, even though he complied with the ex-officer Bethany Guerrero and another officer to show his hands and keep them to
go be strip searched, get whatever, my uniform, and be sent to jail. And then I'm told it's my lucky day, I'm free to go.
That guy that was just talking, to make it clear, he was the person who called the police. He was the victim.
As a subject in an official investigation, the complainant is Chief Quinn Shannon. This investigation concerns alleged violations of policy 4211, response to resistance.
And if you don't know what's going on right now, basically the police officer in question, reviewing the case in hand. They're reviewing her actions and going over that shit and deciding what they're gonna do with her next. She ends up getting fired because of what happened. But you're gonna see how the aftermath of the whole thing, how it played out, and how she tried to justify her. One, she tried to justify her fucking actions, and she tried to get sympathy, she was one, she was in the right, and also two, oh God, I can't even say no more. To think that you should have been justified for your actions in this situation is sick in itself, besides the action itself.
2312-2, conduct. 2312-3, conduct unbecoming. 231614, using coarse or profane language to any citizen. The specific allegations are Officer Guerrero violated these policies in her handling of case 232514, which was a call received on May 9th of 2023. The evidence consists of 911 calls, radio traffic, footage from Sable Ridge pool clubhouse and parking lot. VWC footage from Officer Guerrero, Ayala, Carter, Stairs, Strzelecki, Valerio, and Walker. Before I get to any questions, I just want to put on this here your body cam footage from the response to this call. And again, just at the start, we're talking about 23/25/14, which was on May 9th, 2023.
Yes.
I'm making contact on the other side of the pool, just let me know.
Come in, how you doing? Keep your hands out your pockets for me?
I'm not the one who's done it.
Sir, keep your hands out of your pockets. Put the
Relax.
phone
I
down.
haven't done a crime. Don't talk to me like
Listen
that.
to me, I don't know you. You
Listen,
can put
I
that
don't
down.
know you. You're the one with the gun. Why?
Get down on the ground now. Get
What
down
the
on the
fuck is
ground.
this?
Get down on
Ridiculous,
the ground.
bro.
Because I told you not
That's
to
why
reach for anything.
I haven't committed a crime. You don't have any.
Hands out to your
I
side
haven't
now.
committed a crime.
Now you can put your hands behind your back.
You can't detain me for what?
Yes, I can.
For what?
I don't know you.
I don't know you. You're the ones with guns.
Hey, is that a reason to detain somebody? He asked, why are you detaining me? And she said, because I don't know you. Again, this is the victim, right? And mind y'all, she ain't even the officer in lead. She had been called for backup. She's not the officer in lead. She and the person she arrived with, her, the other officer, they arrived together. They're here for backup. So they've already been informed of the situation at hand. So they know that there's already another officer who's come and handled the situation, and he just needed backup, right? So they should know that my man's is the victim. He's the one that called the police, or else he would have been in cuffs in that lot or in the back of the police station. So you should already know. Common sense will tell you my man's is a fucking victim, right? And not only that, he don't have no weapon on him. He pulls a phone out, and she's talking about don't do this, don't do that. Already like just getting hyped up for no reason, gang. Like it's just crazy to me, right? So and just like I said, we doubling down, right? And you see that my man's has no fucking weapon on him, but you're trying to treat the situation like he's a suspect and he's not the victim, instead of just thinking, using your brain and realizing what like the situation at hand. Why would a fucking victim or why would a suspect be in the lot when there was already a police officer on the scene that did not put him in cuffs or put him in the back of the police car, bro? How does that make sense? So why are you trying to and she pulled her gun out, bro. You're going to see in a sec, she pulls her gun out, but the other officer, he pulls out a taser. Why are you immediately going for your gun? That don't make no damn sense.
I'm detaining you right
That's
now.
fine. You're detaining me for what crime?
Because you don't want to listen.
That's not a crime. You're fucked. Are your body cams on?
Yes, they sure are.
Good.
You just told her she's fucked. He wasn't lying.
This guy's brandishing a gun at me.
Sit down. I didn't say get up. I said sit down.
Who the fuck is this? Where's your supervisor?
I'm getting
You see
one.
how she's talking? I haven't done anything.
Look how the other officer, he's telling my mans to relax, bro. Like he was the aggressor in the situation, like he wasn't calm. He's speaking in a calm voice. He tried to get up. How does that mean that he's not relaxed? You should be telling that to your coworker, bro. She's the one screaming and doing all these commands and shit, gang. So like, bro, it's just clown behavior. But it gets worse though. You're gonna keep watching. It gets worse.
Why am I in handcuffs? I don't care. You're not my mom.
Because I'm
You're not my
coming here
dad.
for a gun.
That's fine. I don't have a gun. I haven't committed a crime.
And when I told you to keep your hands out of your pockets,
You're not
you
my,
did it.
I didn't commit a crime. You don't get to tell me what to do.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Why are you yelling at me?
Because I have every
Who
right to
are
right
you?
now.
What's your badge number?
321 Guerrero, Guerri. Make sure you spell it right.
If you're
You heard that? She said, make sure you spell it right. Now she bucking up, bruh. Like I said, it's literally only gonna get worse for her. So remember her energy right now compared to later in the video, bro. You're gonna see why I say that.
scared of a guy in a
I've been here
sweatsuit,
for 20 years.
you're terrified of a guy in a
And the dude that just walked in the scene right there, he was the officer that was lead. He was the one who was like there first. So he already assessed the situation. So he already know what's going on. He purposely left the victim uncuffed because he's the damn victim.
Dude, I didn't do anything.
You can shut your mouth now.
They just detained me. I explained. There's no guns. That
I don't
has a
detain
gun.
anybody for no reason.
Then what reason?
Because I
What crime did I commit for
Can
you
you
to detain
shut your
me?
mouth so I can explain it to
Are you in charge of this lady?
Go ahead and stop this here.
Why am I in handcuffs on the ground?
All right, so regarding this call, you remember getting dispatched to the call.
I do as a backup.
Very initial broadcast said, implying there was no weapon, but that was quickly after changed, and they mentioned that there was a gun involved. Dispatch said that the individual that was armed was a CCW holder and had the gun holstered in his waist. The second caller, which eventually
You heard what my man said, bruh. He had a gun holstered on his waist. Did we see my man have a gun in his waistband, bro? He was wearing a damn swimsuit. And you could tell if a gun is sticking out of somebody's pockets. It obviously wasn't. And she, even after he took the phone out of his pocket, she clearly could see that my man's not holding a gun. But instead of realizing she was in the wrong and acting crazy for no damn reason, like I said, she just keeps on doubling fucking down, looking like an idiot. These are the people that are supposed to be protecting us, bro. How are you going after the victim, bro? I still can't comprehend it.
Mr. Gould said the subject with the gun pulled up his shirt and revealed that the gun was in his belt, and he was described as 5'2" and 120 pounds.
Did my man look like he was 5'2", 120 pounds? Let me know. Let me know. And was he wearing a shirt? Let me know.
Oh, Mr. Gould was wearing a bathing suit and Crocs.
When I arrived, I remember seeing, yes, a male wearing multicolored shorts. And as I was pulling in, I could see him, and then as he was walking towards me, he was now to my left as I'm starting to pull around. And just behind him, by where the stop curb was, I noticed a lump. I wasn't sure what it was at a time. If it was a shirt, if it was a backpack, if it was a towel, I wasn't sure. And the radio traffic was very confusing. I wasn't sure at first because as one of the last things I'm looking at just prior to my arrival, I see, which I highlighted here in the notes, that the caller's been advised to show his hands at all times to the officer and keep his hands away from his groin area. So it became known to me later on down the road that there were actually three people. The three people that eventually were involved were all calling 911 at the same time, and each were speaking to a different dispatcher. I was unaware at that point how long Officer Valerio had even been there, because Officer Strzelecki was dispatched as the primary, and I was dispatched shortly thereafter as his backup. And when we were pulling into the parking lot is when I noticed Valerio's truck. So the last radio traffic I remember hearing was just 14, I'm 10-12 on the other side. I wasn't sure who he was 10-12 with. As far as I know, I'm arriving to a scene where I am not sure if we have a gun secured yet. And that was my understanding arriving there, that I don't know where this gun is, because I never heard I have the gun secured, so when I'm getting out of the car, I don't even respond to Valerio because I'm not sure who he's speaking of yet. And as I'm pulling up and putting the car in the park, I'm still looking at him over the hood of Valerio's car as I get out. And I remember exiting just before Strzelecki because I saw Mr. Gould walking up, and at that time my advantage point was I'm still trying to look over the hood of the car, and as I'm looking over the hood of the car I could see the hands initially drop, which prompted me to say, hey, get your hands out of your pocket. At that time I'm now moving around to the front side of Valerio's truck, still trying to maintain some position of cover, at which point he dropped his hands again to pull out what was a phone.
Mm-hmm. That's a lie, because we're gonna prove that he went in his pockets one time. He only went down to his pockets one time. She told him to get his hands out of his pockets. He did that, and he never went into his pockets again. So what she said is a lie. You're gonna see it. The moment is gonna expose her for it too. But she don't even recall exactly what happened, family. And it's just, man, you'll see.
Okay, so you tell him to keep his hands from his pockets.
Correct.
Hands out your pockets for me.
Look,
It's about 3 seconds after
watch.
that he takes his phone out of his pocket. From that point on, you're still advancing towards him,
Correct.
and he makes no attempt after that to reach back into his
At all.
I'm not the one with the gun.
Sir, I don't keep your hands out of your pockets.
And he never goes back in his pockets.
Crime. Don't talk to me like
Listen
that.
to me. I don't know you. You
Listen,
can put
I
that
don't
down.
know you. You're the one with the gun. Why
Get down on the ground now. Get down on the
What the fuck
ground.
is this?
He has his phone in his hand,
He has his phone in his hand,
up to his side.
out to his side. He at that point was listening to my commands, but then once I had gotten him handcuffed, he's still verbally resisting because he immediately went to stand back up.
she said verbally resisting. So again, one, she doesn't even recall the actual, like, the sequence of everything happening, right? And then now she said she pulled the gun out because he was verbally resisting. My man is just questioning why are you after me? I'm the victim. You literally, like, I have tears coming out my eyes, bro. You literally can't make this shit up, bro. This shit ain't supposed to be funny, but this lady is that stupid, that idiotic, that it actually somehow, there's humor in it, bro. Because nobody should be this dumb. Nobody should be this clueless, bro. And like I said, these are the people that are supposed to be protecting us.
Right, okay,
I needed him seated.
but before we get to him being handcuffed, you order him to keep his hands from his pockets.
Yes.
He takes his hand, takes his phone out. He's holding it to his side.
He didn't listen to the first command.
Okay. From that point to the time you drew your gun on, 8 seconds.
Okay.
In that 8 seconds, he did not reach for his pockets.
Nope.
You didn't give him any additional commands.
I told him at least twice to keep his hands out of his pockets after the initial drop. Which,
He never went.
Again,
He never went back in his pockets after the first time. He just got his phones, just to show you that's the only thing he has on his body. But you didn't. It wasn't good enough for you, obviously.
I saw from as I was pulling up, I could see this. He dropped his hands, and as I'm getting out, I got out rather quickly because of the initial hand drop, which is why I greeted him with, "Hey man, keep your hands out of your pockets," because I saw that pulling up.
Right.
And again, I don't know who this person is yet. I had no idea.
Also, you can see, bro is going backwards. He's not even. She's the one advancing to him. He's moving backwards, like, yo, why are you charging me with a gun?
Who anybody was.
No
My
threat
job
at all.
At that point is to keep everybody safe, including him.
Keep him safe. You gotta be kidding me, bro. You gotta be
when
kidding
you
me.
initially greet him, you gave him an order to keep his hands from his pockets.
Yes.
One time.
One time. And then
3 seconds later, he takes his phone out.
he goes back into his pockets to
Right.
retrieve the phone, at which point I said, "Hey, I told you to keep your hands out of your pockets," and I drew down on him because, again, I don't know where this gun is at.
Okay, but so we have 8 seconds in between when he took his phone out of his pocket and when you drew down on him.
Okay.
And in those 8 seconds, the phone was out of his pocket. He made no other attempt to go back into his pocket. Right?
From my vantage point, I saw his hands drop. I don't know what else he's going for. I don't know.
When did you see his hands drop?
So, from my vantage point, before I even got out of the car, I saw this. I saw both hands disappear, which prompted me to say what I initially said to him.
Right.
And then, as he disobeys that command and goes back into his pocket again and pulls out the phone, he's now saying to me, "Well, I'm not the one with the gun." I don't know you. I don't know who anybody is at this point. I'm trying to secure a scene.
Right.
That's my focus at that point, and it's never easy when you know that there is a gun out there. That is the knowledge and mindset that I had at that moment. There is a gun unsecured because I did not know any other information as far as what Officer Valerio, who he talked to, who was actually the suspect, and I'm still keeping an eye on what that object was over there. I don't know if he's going to try to run
Literally
back
a
to
fucking
that. I
towel,
don't
bro.
know.
Right.
I just have to get
But he didn't
him
give
on
you
the
any
ground.
indication that he was going to run for that or make any
I didn't
movement
give
for
him
that.
enough time to do that, though.
Right. Because after he took his phone out of his pockets, 8 seconds later, you drew your gun at him and ordered him to the ground.
I did.
So you agree, though, that from the time he took his phone out of his pocket, he didn't defy your commands after that. He didn't make an attempt to reach back into his pockets.
I was attempting to control the scene to make it safe and get him secured.
Okay. It was your belief that he could have been armed.
He could have been, yes.
And you felt that he wasn't following your commands. So you felt the need to Draw your weapon.
As you can see right here, look, she pulled out her gun first. The other man's pulled out a damn taser, bro. Why are you pulling out a gun? To the victim that is clearly unarmed. And even after he pulls his phone out, you could, if you can't understand the difference between a victim and a suspect, bro, what are you doing on a police force, my nigga? What are you doing there? Who let you, who hired you, bro? That's another topic of this video, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, what the hell is the hiring process and what is the training process for y'all to be this clueless?
There's not a lot of whole psychological things that go into being a cop. You can be a psychopath and get through becoming a police officer very easily. Exams, everything. Physical exam, aced it, broke a record for the police force. I'm like this close to going into the academy, get called in by the higher ups, thinking, oh man, they about to lace me because I'm doing great. I had a super high score on the written and everything. And basically they were like, because of my affiliation with somebody who was like second in charge, we want to do you this favor. Right now, we're supposed to tell you, thank you very much, we can't use you. I'm like, what are you talking about? Turns out, and I found this out for a lot of different police organizations, or it may be the majority, because I asked this question throughout my lifetime. What they told me was, your score was too high. If your IQ is too high, you're no good for the police department, because our research says you're not going to be challenged with this job, and you're more likely to be involved in corruption because the job. And I'm like, you got to be kidding.
You walked past the patrol car on your way towards Mr. Gould.
That was Valerio's truck,
Right.
I believe, yes.
Didn't consider to use that as cover if you thought Mr. Gould was armed.
Well, I did initially. I was hanging out towards the front of that portion of the truck. You know, that was my initial approach. And then once I was able to draw down and continue to advance, once I had this here and he got down on the ground and I was able to handcuff him. But I didn't readily move from that area. Yes, I'm getting out of the car. I'm not sitting there when someone's trying to walk up on me. I don't know who you are yet, because I had no clue that this guy was a victim, potential victim. I had no idea.
At the time.
At the time.
Again, why the hell would the victim, after the lead officer you could see he's been on the scene, why would he leave the fucking victim in the lot uncuffed or not in the back of his fucking police car? Why would he be there by himself if he was the damn suspect that supposedly has a fucking gun on him, bro? Make it make sense. And also later on, you're gonna see the lead police officer who came to the scene first. He's gonna pull the other guy to the side, the one that she came with, and he's gonna be like, "Yeah, so that's actually the victim."
Why am I in handcuffs on the ground? Are you supervisor? No. So he's the victim.
Kind of like, yo, well, what's going on? But whole time, either one of them, even the lead guy or the other guy, they could have pulled her to the side like, yo, maybe you're taking this shit a little too far. But nah, these cops always find a way to just back each other, even if they're in dead wrong. They're going to die on that nail every single time. I don't know whether it's like a fucking, it's the power move, or they just don't want to be wrong compared to like your average citizen. I couldn't tell you what it is, bro. It's clueless behavior, though.
But throughout that initial 11 seconds or so interaction, you continue to walk towards him. You advance towards him the entire time.
Right, because he's on the ground. I can see
Right.
where his hands are, and then I reholster.
Not when he's on the ground. Not when he's on the ground. From the time you get out of your car to the time you made physical contact with him and handcuffed him, you advanced towards him the entire time.
Okay.
So there was no pause behind cover.
You heard that? Even when he proves her wrong, she doesn't say, oh, that's my mistake. None of that. All she says is simple, okay. And you hear how passive-aggressive it sounded, bruh. Just like, oh my God. Bruh, this is ridiculous. Like, this shit is triggering me, bruh. I was already triggered when I was like reading about the information earlier, but like watching this shit now, it just like, it makes me even more fucking mad.
There was no using a vehicle for cover. That's what I'm asking. you felt that he was armed and posed a threat that you needed to escalate to deadly force, but you walked past a vehicle where you had an opportunity to get cover, but you didn't, correct?
I mean, yeah, but again, like I said, in my mindset at the time, like that's nerve-wracking. That's uncomfortable. I'm trying to do the best that I can at that point to make a scene secure. You know, I'm not saying that the last thing I'm thinking about is cover, but I'm trying to prevent an incident or potential incident.
Now, you handcuffed him, Mr. Gould.
I did.
At any time, because it's not clearly visible on video, was he searched?
At that time, no. Control because he was so verbally aggressive. I understand he was handcuffed at that time. However,
not only was he the one who was actually calm in the situation, his voice remained at a steady pace. She was the one that was yelling at him, right? Not only that, but you didn't even check my mans after you had that nigga detained to see if he actually had weapons on him. You didn't check the towel. You didn't check none of that stuff because you said he was being still verbally aggressive. Because he wasn't listening. What more did you want him to do in that situation? You already had the nigga detained for no reason. It was wrong, right? You had him sitting on the ground. The nigga's in cuffs, and you felt like he was still such a threat. He couldn't even stand up with the cuffs on. You still had him sit on the ground, and you couldn't even check him to see like. You can't make this shit up, bro. Stupidity like this is dangerous when you have somebody like this on the force. You give them a gun. And they're supposed to be protecting you, bro. It is dangerous, my nigga. And like I said, I want her, not only her, she was like, I want her to be held accountable, but I want all the other officers that were involved in this, that didn't do the right thing, to also be held accountable, bro. Because this also reminds me of like, I forgot bro's name, the guy that died in Minnesota because the cop had the knee on his neck. There was other cops in that scene. There was 5 of them. I mean, they all got held accountable too because they all were idiotic. But you see my man's is clearly in handcuffs on the ground. He is no longer a threat, but I don't know if, like I said, if it's the training or you're just an idiot, a power abuse thing, but you have your knee on my man's like neck. You think you need more force than you like. And then also like another stupid situation I remember. There's multiple of them, bro. That's why I'm even making this video because there's just too many of them. But I think it was in Florida again, a situation with another police officer. He had a potential suspect. He had him detained in the back of his police car. But he was walking by the police car and just an acorn dropped on his fucking car. And he thought that was a gun. He thought it was gunfire. This man does this crazy drop and roll cover thing. And he starts emptying the fucking clip. Like there's somebody behind him. He starts shooting in the back of his own police car. When the dude is locked up, cuffed in the back of the police car, bro. You can't make this shit up. And then like other cops come onto the scene and he says, I think I've been hit. I think I've been hit. But...
Shots fired! I'm here! What? I'm here! In the car! I was shot! In the car! Oh! I'm good. I don't know. I might have hit my vest. I'm not. I don't know. It felt like it. Jesse, move over to me. I got you. Move over to me.
Jesse, come back.
It was just an acorn that fell on his fucking car, bro. You can't even tell whether you've been hit or not, bro. You can't even feel it. Cause a gun, like a bullet, I'm pretty sure you could tell that it's not like a tap or something. You could feel that shit, even if you're wearing a fucking vest, bro. You feel me? Like this is what I'm saying. And then another situation, this was a lead detective in the case with I'm fucking up on the names right now, but she could have ruined this ex NFL athlete's life when she didn't thoroughly do her investigation. And she wasn't searching for weapons on the suspects, even though he was the actual victim. And she tried to I think she arrested him and treated him like he was the victim when he was the one in self-defense, bro. Again, there's too many of this shit, bro. And these are the people that are supposed to be fucking protecting us.
He was attempting to stand up, and I needed him seated. He was considerably taller than me, and at that point I needed him sitting on the ground. I don't know why his initial reaction was to want to get up or verbalize to me, I'm going to stand up. No, I'm still trying to take control of my situation.
All right, so he was laying on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He never said, I'm going to stand up. He just tried to stand up, and then she forced him back down. That was another lie. And you're talking about he's taller than you. The nigga's in cuffs, and you have another police officer right next to you who's as big, if not bigger than him. So if that's not even enough, bro, what are you doing, bro? Again, what the fuck are you doing on the force?
Correct. And I rolled him over.
You rolled him over,
Mm-hmm.
and you instructed him to sit up.
To sit up.
Sit up. I understand that he obviously didn't, for whatever reason, whether it was intentional or misunderstanding, he went to stand up.
He never said, I'm going to stand up.
On the ground.
Yeah.
I called you guys for help because this guy's brandishing a gun at me.
Sit up. Sit down. I didn't say get up. I said sit down.
Who the f*** is this? Where's your supervisor?
I'm getting one.
See how she's talking to me? I haven't done anything.
But you said that he was trying to get up. You didn't search him because you're trying to control him.
Mm-hmm.
But he wasn't trying to get up until you rolled him over and told him to sit up.
Right, so he was listening to that command, but,
At this point, bro, she's just grasping at straws, but she's just trying to, she's reaching at anything she possibly can, bro. In the back of her head, she has to realize, she's like, oh, I really fucked up here, bro. I'm cooked. But nah, bro, just to save face and to justify her situation, to further not get arrested or have to do time her damn self because she's an idiot. She's just saying anything she can, bro. And like I said, y'all saw the other officer talk about relax, like my man's on the ground is the aggressor. You can't make this shit up, bro.
Him rolled over. I no longer wanted him on his stomach. I needed him to sit up. Okay. I don't know this person. I don't know if he's taken something before, if there could be drugs or alcohol.
Really, bro? Now we're trying to get to that, bro. Now you don't even know if bro is on drugs because of the way he's acting. Bruh, I'm not even about to go there.
Wouldn't be out of the realm with, individuals we have to deal with. And in my mind, I'm trying to just go through the best checklist I can under the stress that I was put under at that time to try to make a scene safe.
Okay. What I'm trying to understand, though, is you felt that he posed a threat to you. There's a gun involved in the call. You don't know that he's the one with the gun or not. You draw your weapon on him and order him to the ground because there's a likelihood you believe that he is armed.
Or somebody or something. Yes, I do.
Well, I would imagine it's him because if somebody else is armed, there's no need to point a weapon at him.
Correct. He was the only one right there in that immediate area.
So the individual that you point your weapon at and then handcuff because you believe is armed is prone out on the ground and he's never searched.
Okay. That's
correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Shout for season,
Followed. Now he's handcuffed. He makes an attempt to get up. He sits back down. Do you believe you made any effort to de-escalate that situation?
It was difficult for me to initially try to further de-escalate when he was continually yelling and screaming at me back.
No, she did not try to de-escalate the situation, and no, he was not screaming back at you. This man had every right to react the way he was reacting because you were in complete wrong here, and he was just trying to understand why he was being detained for not doing anything and you failing to do your job the correct way. It's really that simple.
I haven't done anything.
You don't
Why am
wanna
I in
listen.
handcuffs? I don't care. You're not my
being
mom.
silly because I'm
You're not my
coming here
dad.
for a gun.
That's fine. I don't have a gun. I haven't committed a crime.
And when I told you to keep your hands out of your pockets,
You're not
you did
my,
it.
I didn't commit a crime. You don't get to tell me what to do.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Why are you yelling at me?
Because I have every
Who
right to
are
right
you?
now.
What's your badge number?
321 Guerrero, Guerrero. Make sure you spell it right.
If you're this scared of a guy in a
I've been here
swimsuit,
for 20 years.
At that same time, and I watched my video back over again and again and again because it was at this point I was not feeling well, I was not feeling right, I was experiencing
11 seconds of audio was removed here. Bethany is likely referring to her medical emergency that happened while she was on scene, which required her transportation to the hospital in an ambulance. Note that medical conditions can happen at any time, but in the IA report, Officer Strzelecki said that he and Bethany were joking around before the call, describing her as jovial and calm before arriving, and that she only became agitated from Ryan's verbal prodding. Sergeant Glass would later describe her as tight, like an overload of adrenaline was in her system, and that she seemed like it was beyond her control, and described her demeanor as clearly mad or angry.
still trying to maintain him. I got him yelling at me, I got other people arriving.
Not only was my man, again, not yelling at you, why the hell, like I said, if you can't handle this type of situation, bro, why are you on the force, gang? What are you doing there? Y'all got the wrong one, bro. Y'all really, like, you could not have chose somebody worse. I don't think you really can. If you choose names out of a hat, a fucking random stranger on the street, you could not have chose worse than this woman right here, bro. Why did you need medical attention? Because of the interaction you had with the gentleman that you were the aggressor in, and you were yelling at him and he was not yelling back? Like,
you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, what is happening to me? How do I, verbalize this, that I'm having an issue, that this guy is still yelling and screaming. I'm still trying to maintain a level of control. There was a lot for me at that moment going on.
You recall the things he was yelling?
Just like, I don't have to listen to you. You're not my mom.
Why am I in handcuffs?
no lies detected. He don't have to listen to you because he didn't do nothing wrong, and you are not his mom.
You're not my mom.
Because I'm
You're not my
coming here
dad.
for a gun.
I didn't do anything wrong. I just remember
You did a lot of things wrong, not just one.
a few times, I don't have to listen to you. What am I under arrest for? And I initially explained that he was being detained.
Mm-hmm.
But the further, I was being met with the resistance, he met the statute for resisting. Again, because I couldn't even get to the point of trying to identify who he was because the verbal aggression.
Let me get this right. Just because you're resisting, even though you have every right to, you're in the complete right? Just because she feel like, or any police officer feels like you're resisting to their demands and all that kind of stuff, even though they're in the fucking wrong, then you could get arrested for that, basically. See how that shit works, bro? Is that justice? Does that make sense? Is that fair? Me personally, bro, I've never seen a cop like apologize for being in the wrong, bro. They usually every single damn time they react just like this, bro. They try to like gaslight you and make you think like you were in the wrong, even though they were in the goddamn wrong, bro. That shit be crazy. They just keep doubling down. Like, it gets worse and worse. They'd rather lose their job than just admit that they were in the wrong or handle the situation better, bro. Shit crazy. I don't know why.
Continued.
Once he was handcuffed and on the ground, or on the ground and then handcuffed, had he been searched and no weapon found, how would that have changed the outcome of that interaction?
I'm not 100% sure because I still have an unknown with that item over there by the
It was just a towel. If she went and checked it was just a towel, she would have realized again how stupid she was. But she didn't even do that. Like I said, multiple things she did wrong. And she wasn't even the lead officer, bro. That's what makes this shit even way worse. She was only backup.
parking stop thing, and I understand it's not physically on his person if it could be there, but it's still relevantly close.
Bro did not run for it. He didn't even, that's what I'm saying. That shit isn't even relevant because one, you didn't check for it, you didn't search it, and he didn't even go towards that shit. Like, he did not even make an attempt to go over there and try to show you what it was or pull something out of it. Then you could have had suspicions to oh, that could have been a gun. But he didn't do that. Fucking idiot.
Check that item out.
I don't even know or remember.
Did you direct anybody to check that item out?
I don't think I did.
So that item was one of the things that you mentioned was of concern to you, that it was just potentially a safety issue for you and whoever else might be around there. And again, it's a safety issue because you don't know who this guy is, and he could be armed, and you don't know what's in that item. So he's handcuffed, he's never searched, and nobody checks that item.
Whole time, peep how they're crowding this man's, bro. Look at how they're surrounding the goddamn victim. The victim, bro. Just because of how their own coworker has escalated the situation. Instead of, like I said, not one of them pulled her to the side, try to hold her accountable and be like, yo, you might be in the wrong in this situation, and like try to de-escalate it. They just went along with everything that was going on, bro, like a bunch of idiots. And this is what usually fucking happens in every goddamn situation, bro. No, a citizen can't be right over a police officer. That doesn't make sense. No, we're the authority here. We're the ones who have control. We're the ones who have power.
And he's yelling, I did nothing wrong, I'm not the one with the gun, and clearly agitated because he's in handcuffs, right? But at no point does anybody say, let's check that item, let's check him to see if he has a weapon, and let's figure out exactly why this guy is so pissed that he's handcuffed, alleging he did nothing wrong, right?
That's fair, yeah.
Nobody tried to see why he was upset and why, like, his side of the story.
You're talking to Sergeant Glass. You had told him that after Gould took the phone from his pocket, he went back into his pockets. And he asked, where am I going to put a gun on a bathing suit? Now, you're paraphrasing, obviously. Don't expect that you're quoting the guy verbatim. It's the gist of it. And then went to reach back into his pockets. And you said, this part is verbatim. But when, like, the first couple times he didn't want to listen to me about keeping his hands out of his pockets and thought it was funny, I drew down on him. Right? So you've seen the BWC footage. Is that still accurate?
So, again, being in that heightened state that I was, for me at that moment, it was the truth. Can visions and absolute truth be skewed a little bit because of a heightened state of stress or a situation like that? Yes. And that's where I was at.
84302 is what he was ultimately charged with, resisting an officer without violence. The statute states whoever shall resist, obstruct, or oppose any officer in the lawful execution of any legal duty without violence is guilty of a misdemeanor. Resist, obstruct, or oppose. Now, I know you had left the scene. You fell ill and left, and this was all relayed then to Officer Strzelecki. But obviously you had made a decision at some point to charge him, to charge Mr. Gould with resisting.
I did.
And the resisting, obstructing, or opposing, tell me which part of the interaction you felt satisfied that.
By the second time, I had to tell him to keep his hands out of his pockets on a potential firearm call, and I don't know who he is yet.
Okay, when was the second time you told him?
When he had drawn out the phone and I had drawn down at the same time, because after the first time of time, so I consider that to be the second time.
I'm not the one with the gun.
Sir, I don't keep your hands out of your pockets. Put the
Relax.
phone
I
down.
haven't done a crime. Don't talk to me like that.
Listen to me. I don't know you.
Listen,
you can put
I
that
don't
down.
know you. You're the one with the gun. Why
Get down on the ground. Now, get down on the ground.
But you gave him a second warning, not because he reached back into his pockets after taking the phone out.
Listen, I don't know you.
He never made a second attempt. After he took the phone out, he never went back into his pockets. He never reached for his pockets.
No, but he went back in to get the phone after the first time. I told him not to do that.
Right. So let's clarify that then. You gave him a warning not to put his hands in his pockets, which he took his phone out.
I gave him a command to keep his hands out of his pockets because I saw them here. I saw them drop and go here. That is a verbal command, to which he did not listen to the first time.
And agreed. He took his phone out of his pocket after you told him that. After that, he never made an attempt to go back into his pockets. When you drew your weapon on him and ordered him to the ground, he went to the ground.
Correct.
And he was handcuffed. So the basis for the arrest for 84302 was him reaching for his phone after you told him not to.
I don't know what that was until it was
understood.
produced.
That's understood. understood. I'm asking, but that's the basis for the arrest for 84302.
Yes.
Okay. Moving forward to the comments that we discussed, right? Mocking his toenails, calling him a punk, etc. Would you agree that that is not professional behavior?
I would agree, yes. I'm not.
Bro, it's not even funny. I was gonna say what's funny about that, but it's not even funny. Cops do that, and I've seen that shit firsthand myself. Cops doing that shit, bro. Well, I'll talk about that on a different day, but like I said, it's an authority thing or a power thing. Why do you think like they look down on these people, bro? They look down on you if you're not one of them, or if you don't have any type of authority. Like if you're not above them or one of them, they look down on you, bro. It's really that simple. At least the bad ones, bro. I can't speak for all cops. I'm like I said, this video is not. I'm not trying to make this video to shit on all cops, because I feel like there are good ones out there. But for the bad ones, they just make a bad name for all cops in general, bro. Because it's hard for people, like normal people, to trust them when you see situations like this, or you go through them yourself. You feel me? But yeah. So like, why are you making, because you felt like, you know, the man hurt your feelings or some shit, like you want to get back at him? Like, why are you making fun of his toenails? Why are you making fun of the person? And the whole time he's the victim, and you're still in the wrong. Why do you gotta think like it's like cool to joke about these people, bro? Why y'all do that shit? That shit don't make no sense, bro.
Dispute that at all.
Okay. Is there anything?
And that's the first time she actually owned up to her own like mistake and said that she was wrong. That's the first time, not the whole video, bruh. Because she made fun of him, got caught 4K for it. But if she did it, she probably would have said that never happened.
I failed to ask you that you would like to add to the statement.
Could I?
Absolutely, you can.
Obviously, I had reviewed thoroughly everything that was presented to me, to include listening to the statements that were provided by Sergeant Glass, Sergeant Beeth, Officer Strzelecki, and Officer Valerio. I had taken note in Sergeant Beeth's statement that he had come to the hospital.
Sergeant Beeth met Brittany at the hospital, where she asked who took Ryan to jail. She was told that Officer Strzelecki did, and replied, "Good. That guy needed to go to jail." But Sergeant Beeth told her, no, he did. Even
though my man's not the victim, now you're talking about he deserved to go to jail just because of your interaction with him, bro. You can't make this shit up. It's beyond a joke at this point, bro. Just because he questioned your authority, even though you were in the wrong, he deserved to go to jail? Really?
And that he had taken Ryan home. It then appears that Bethany was told how much trouble she was in because of this ridiculous incident.
I couldn't help but notice when
now it gets real for her.
was talking about the potential discipline that I could be sustaining from this incident. He had also taken the opportunity to let me know that Mr. Gould had been unarrested. I was not aware of that, and you know, I was surprised when he was making the statement that he was speaking to me in the hospital about those issues, or what I consider to be a sensitive matter, especially when it's concerning discipline in a public emergency room. There was 2 other officers and my spouse there while he was saying these things. To listen to potential disciplinary actions that are going to be taken against me in front.
Now you about to hear her start crying, bro. Now she gonna pretend like she was the victim in this whole situation. Bro, it's gonna be funny, bro. This is the justice I always talk about. This is my type of justice right here.
Her and 2 other officers, to include the woman who was to my left with a curtain drawn, who recognized his voice and called out his name, Dennis, was enough for me to know that that is able to be heard by everybody there that was there. So when I did ask him, as my supervisor and someone I've known for 20 years,
voice cracking and everything,
what's going to happen, what's going on, I found it disheartening to hear him laugh.
Wait, was it kind of like when you were laughing and calling my man's a punk and all that kind of stuff? Was it that kind of laughter? Is that what you didn't like?
After I did get out of the hospital several days later, that it was funny to him why I was asking him that AC Bechtel was calling for me. I had no idea at that point, and there's a time and a place for everything.
You're right. There is a time and a place for everything. I wish you had known that earlier. I wish you'd really know that.
I don't know that. You know, could I have picked a better time and a place for my interaction with Mr. Gould? Absolutely. I own that.
Oh.
However, there was a time and a place to discuss something like that, and that wasn't the time.
Basically, she's sad that she just got put on blast by one of her other officers when she was at the hospital getting treatment for God knows what, because she had an interaction while she was the one yelling at my mans. She was getting treatment for, like I said, God knows what. That's something like some phantom case, bro. Phantom injury, whatever the fuck she's talking about. And in front of her, a doctor, and I think two of her other coworker officers that were there, she got put on blast by one of her coworkers telling her like, yo, you in big trouble. You feel me? So and now she's talking about there's a time and place for that. Oh, really? Oh, fucking really?
I had been humiliated in front of my spouse and two other officers by my supervisor, someone I've known for 20 years.
How do you think the victim felt when he's looking at this right here, crowded by you and your other thugs, bruh? Humiliating this man sitting on the floor while he's defenseless as a victim in handcuffs. How do you think he felt, bruh?
So when I did ask him, as my supervisor and someone I've known for 20 years, what's going to happen? What's going on? It's just disheartening to hear how funny that was to him.
Knock it off, man. Cut out the waterworks.
Take a minute, take as much time as you need. And
it ain't gonna help you, shorty. It ain't gonna help you.
If you want me to proceed.
Same thing with Sergeant Glass. I was really... It hurt to hear him speak because I consider myself a trusted part of that team. I'm a senior officer who they put a lot of responsibility on.
Cap.
Whenever we have a new officer come out, it is not abnormal for them to put that person in my zone, to look after them, to take care of them, to guide them.
Cap.
I cannot tell you the amount of times I made OIC because I'm one of the most senior and trustworthy people on that shift, and they know that.
Cap.
So when I eventually was able to get into that clubhouse and sit down, because I'm still having this excruciating life, and this is the first interaction she's having with him, and had to ask him to leave. And there was certain points throughout there he was demanding her to look at him. She's now crying because she sees me upset, and he's demanding her to look at him. And feeling intimidated, she did just that, because where is she gonna go? Again, there is a time and place, and that was not it. And I'm gonna just say it, but if I was married to a man with Sergeant...
Also, why the fuck are there like 20 police officers pulling up for a case this simple, bruh? You literally didn't even need backup for the situation. Okay, you get backup, you need two other officers, cool. But like, that's another thing I don't understand. Why do y'all need the whole fucking police station to come down? Are there not better things for y'all to do, some more productive things? There's no way you need this much backup. If y'all telling me, bro, if you're telling me this is the backup you need for the guy that was sitting on the floor, bro, throw the whole department away, my nigga. Throw it all away. Y'all not even focusing on the real suspect at hand, but y'all focusing on the wrong person, and you're telling me you need this much backup for them, bro? To assess the situation? To get clarity? Are you kidding me?
Have demanded my husband to look at him? This is a woman that day. Take what's mine. I've never not.
You're going to see Union Rep as a El Bozo. He's a El Bozo. Bro's trying to make it seem like he's trying to make it better for her, but you literally can't make the situation better for her, bro. You just can't. You'll see, though. He going to try.
I have one last question, but I don't want to cut you off either. If there's anything you want to express before I go to that.
It's okay.
Okay. Is there anything I failed to ask you that is pertinent to this investigation and should be brought out?
No, sir.
Okay. Then that is the end of the interview and the time.
I just have a few questions.
Sure.
Sergeant Grossman asked you that the basis for the resisting without violence you talked about. You already got into that. I'm not going to ask you to repeat that, but also one of the bases was the fact that the underlying call was an ag assault firearm, correct?
Yes.
Leading.
So you had that knowledge when you were arriving on scene.
Leading.
And so you've already testified to this multiple times, but you get there and he already didn't follow your initial lawful command, right? Which was don't go in your pockets.
Yes.
Leading.
He then reached in his pocket, took something out, which turns out was your phone. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Leading.
Right. You've never met this guy before?
Never.
Leading.
You don't know what he's
Cap.
capable of?
I do not.
Cap. Leading.
You have no idea what's perhaps in his other pocket?
I don't.
Leading.
Ultimately, you did the best you could with the information you had at the time, right?
Yes.
Leading. Cap. Bullshit.
I want to clarify, though, that the call was not an aggravated assault. It was a disturbance. And it was mentioned that one individual lifted up his shirt
It was.
and showed a firearm.
Well,
That's fine, but in your head, knowing that,
there's a
possible.
gun on the scene.
There's a firearm on the scene.
Okay.
Someone's calling because someone showed
Fair
a firearm. Right.
Okay. And that is the end of the interview. The time is 9:51.
That interview concludes, and as we know now, Bethany was fired.
All right, bro. That's the end of the video. You feel me? I am triggered beyond triggered, fam. The ending, like I said, I'm glad there was justice. If there was no justice in this case, bro, I'd be sick to my fucking stomach. Like if they let her walk or just gave her, because usually in situations like this, they like to give them suspensions or whatever, like leave without, or they give them paid leave and shit, kind of like a rewarding thing, which I don't understand because like that shit, that's a whole nother ball game, right? Like I said, I did not make this video to shit on all cops, bro, but I just want like the awareness I was talking about. It's just like it sucks to know that even as a victim, you can't even feel safe enough to want to call the police and not like all the way know that they're not gonna do some shit like this, bro. You feel me? Like, isn't that like, it's just crazy how that shit works, bro. All I want is for like, I wish, bro. Like I said, I know we live in the real world and like shit is really complicated. It's not a fairy tale. Not everything gonna end with a happy ending, but like I just wish all the bad cops could just get weeded out, bro. Like I'm glad they have the body cam shit. Like I said, the body cam shit should have been on, like, I don't know if it's been, like, since the beginning of time, but whenever it started, cool, but, like, I just feel like it should have been a thing since the get-go, bruh. But they only added that shit because they felt like cops, you might have cops that fucking plant shit. Like, in a situation like this or other situations, bro, they could have fucking, you don't even know. Like, I think I seen something else where, like, a cop was searching a victim's car. Even though like the victim didn't do anything, they didn't even understand this, like, the situation correctly. They were just going based off an assumption or something somebody else said, and they were, like I said, grasping at straws, trying to go through with no warrant, trying to go through a victim's car. You feel me? And if the body cam wasn't on, bro, you don't know what could have happened. They could have planted some shit and try to make it a whole nother thing. Like, oh, I mean, we know we were wrong in there, but this victim had a unlicensed weapon, or he had paraphernalia, drugs, like all this other shit. You feel me? Like it's just scary, bro. It's scary when you're dealing with shit like people like this in situations like this, gang. So that's the awareness I wanted to bring to y'all, bro. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video, and like I said, I enjoyed making this for y'all. I mean, it was really important to me, bro. Like I said, I hate injustice, bro. I'm glad this shit ended up like this, the way it did, and yeah, hopefully y'all understand. If you've never dealt with the police before, you get a better understanding like I did, and yeah, I mean, that's about it. But until next time, bro. Oh, also, please don't forget to subscribe, bro. It helps us grow. I know it's my rookie year, all that kind of shit. I'm just trying to, be better for y'all all the time, whether it's like quality, everything. It don't matter. I always try to I strive to be better for y'all because y'all are the most important part. And please do not hesitate. Go in the fucking comment section and let me know how this video made you feel, and future videos y'all would like to see me talk about, react to. Don't matter. We diverse. We do it all here, bro. And yeah, so comment, like, and share, but most importantly, don't forget to fucking subscribe, gang. But until next time, peace the fuck out.